Greetings, this is Star Illumination. It's an impromptu video. It's Wednesday afternoon, 29th of March 2023. Moon is in Cancer, Mars is in Cancer. It's not a happy place for Mars. There's a lot of, I would say, pent-up energy regarding home defenses and security, especially regarding the subject of the United States. I'm just going to rattle through a bunch of stuff quickly. There's so much that just happened as to be expected. We just had the Aries New Moon, and the sovereign self is being activated very strongly, Chiron and all of that. I'm just going to rattle off a list here, okay? This is not conspiracy stuff. This is nothing to do with anything except just a bunch of facts, truth, information. It's up to you what you make of it, but to me it's very serious. Yesterday, and I think perhaps the day before yesterday, Alexandro Mayorkas, who's the boss over the border czar, I forgot what the DO something, whatever it is. But anyway, he's the boss of the boss for the whole of everything to do with American security and the southern border and all that stuff. And he is being dragged into House Senate Committee, into Congress, to testify against some very vicious attacks by the conservatives and Republicans who are now operating like a bunch of pit bulls to take down these highly, what's a nice word that I can say on YouTube without getting shut down? Traitorous people who are supposedly running this country. Mayorkas is a deep state offender. His day job is to do everything to undermine the USA, using the border as the tool of operation. And man, it was beautiful to watch. I believe it was Ted Cruz, who is like a pit bull regarding these matters. He's very concerned about American security, especially in Texas, because he's a Texas guy. So he was attacking Mayorkas, and it's all done under oath, okay? This is all being filmed, done under oath, in Congress, all scheduled in advance. And Mayorkas refused to answer anything. He tried to by using deflect, deny, deflect strategies, but basically, when you saw the charts and you heard the language from Ted Cruz, you realized that Mayorkas is a conspirator, a traitor to this country, the great United States. The next thing that I really enjoyed, and that's probably still ongoing right now, is Secretary of State, probably the highest ranking person in American government right now, alongside Biden. Forget Kamala. Anthony Blinken has also been subpoenaed, and he's going to go through the same stuff under heavy attack from the House Senate Committee, under oath, to testify against some really obvious stuff that needs truthful, honest answers from our Secretary of State, and how essentially he's just full of BS, trying to create smoke screens, distractions, anything and everything to make it look like he's doing a great job to protect and defend and advance the Americas, the great United States, while in fact subverting anything and everything that he can along the way. Like, obviously there's the China connection. The other thing, of course, is, who was the other one? Anyway, the whole Biden crime family is starting to come unraveled. You're probably very aware of that, all the materials that are coming up through the Twitter files and through the Cathay Bank in Hong Kong, revealing all the transactions coming to the Biden crime family. And all the money, basically follow the money. And you can see for a fact, not conspiracy, that the Biden crime family is essentially selling this country to China, sticking its foot in the doorway so that China can infiltrate this country from top to bottom using what they call unrestricted warfare to destroy America from within, so they don't even have to shoot one bullet from without. So that involves, my personal belief is that China is very active in a lot of the internal domestic sabotage alongside some of the Soros-funded saboteurs. All of these people are evil, and they have a sole intent of destroying America from within. Explosions, fires, pollution, factories, trains, all of it, chemical plants, anything and anything you can think of that would screw up the American economy and terrify the American people. They're doing it, okay? And Blinken and Mayorkas are heavily involved in it. China, I don't know if you saw this stuff recently on China's unrestricted warfare. They have a document which you can see online, which outlines everything that they do in terms of warfare in order and how to take down the United States incrementally without having to shoot one, okay? It's crazy. And now there's the Heritage Foundation, which has come out with a multi-step plan to counter the Chinese threat. It's basically war. We are at war. And it's happening right now. And it's interesting that the Heritage Foundation battle plan is essentially a Trump MAGA blueprint. So to me, that's very encouraging. I mean, certain people are actually, concerned about this country and the demise and the decay of this country. Here's another little snippet. I'm just going from my notes. You know how I do. I'm trying to get these out rapid fire. Honduras, okay? It's one of those countries in Central America, along with El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico. Who else did I miss? I don't know. But Honduras took the money. They took the China money and they said to Taiwan. So now Honduras is effectively an enemy of the United States. Another thing, the boss lady from Taiwan is coming over to America, and she's going to be speaking to Kevin McCarthy, the Republican House Congress leader. So China is enraged. They said, lady, if you do that, there's going to be retaliation. Xi Jinping is going to fly over and nuke you. Okay? Mexico, okay? Central America on a larger scale. As you know, that's basically a failed state. It's owned and operated by the drug cartels. And Obrador, who is the president, is deeply compromised, and his only option is to do this to the United States, because that's what the cartels are telling him to do. The cartels operate in every major city in this country, doing their version of unrestricted warfare to destroy America from within. And it's working. They're doing an outstanding job. There's more carnage from the cartels and the fentanyl and the crime, the rape, the pillage, murder, than there is from any of the wars that are actually going on out there that America's involved in. The Middle East, parts of other places, Eastern Europe. It's just it's just incredible. And of course, Biden is like, Obrador, you should really, step up and do something about your country. And Obrador's like, you're the one with the problem, man. I got China backing me. I got China in my backyard. Who do you think I'm going to side with? So that's what's happening down there in our southern border. It's frightening. If that doesn't frighten you, I don't know what would. 5 million illegal immigrants now. 600,000 criminals. 35,000 children unaccounted. Little children. Okay? Next on the list, the IRS is now officially militarized. They can come after anybody for any reason if they don't like you, according to the commie, Marxist, hardcore lefty, sicko regime that's supposedly running this country right now. So they just went after, and they went to his house. They went to the house of Matt Taibbi. He's the lead reporter investigator on the Twitter files, opening up the files and presenting them to the world, sending it all to, what is it, Tucker Carlson, or anyway, exposing it all. And it's terrifying. They're basically threatening him. Basically, it's a gesture. Basically, you shut the bleep up, or we're going to take you down. Okay? To me, that's absolutely terrifying. That's weaponization of the Department of Justice, weaponization of our defense system, weaponization of what Mayorkas' department on the Border Controls. I don't know. It's all part of the implosion of the United States, the American empire. Okay, it's going. Part of it is, of course, the controlled demolition. The other part of it is just a natural result of the Pluto cycle every 250 years. And America is heavily, heavily influenced by Pluto and the Pluto cycles. That's why I go on and on and on about it. Next, the U.S. economy itself, in other words, the American dollar. Think of the United States Federal Reserve banking system, the federal government itself, and the U.S. Treasury all working in collusion. It's a complete, utter train wreck. And it is collapsing. The dollar is collapsing. It is inevitable. So what do we do about it? How do we slow it down? Well, actually, you can't. It's just going to collapse, and a new global paradigm is going to unfold. It's happening right in front of us in like super, super time-lapse slow motion. Some countries will be devastated. Some people are totally unaffected. If you're really loaded, super rich, you're having a blast right now. I just saw something about the Swiss Geneva luxury watch convention. They're having their best year ever. And that's because of the elites at the very, very top are having a fantastic time. Inflation works for them. They get increased stock values, stock prices, profits, and then they can just go splurge. Oh, I'm going to get another yacht, another super yacht. You know what? I need a new Omega Seamaster. It's only $30,000, and I saw one on the window the other day for $4 million. I'm going to snap that one up. It'll be a collectible for my little kids. My generational, legacy. Ha ha ha. Man, that's just a wristwatch. Okay, so with the American economy, it's a massive fraud based on the Federal Reserve banking system, fiat money, zero fractional reserve banking. We've talked about all that. Janet Yellen's the treasurer. Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Fed. Biden is the so-called president. God. Anyway, let's go back to the American money issues, because it's a big heads up. We are heading to a massive global financial eruption. It's a matter of weeks and months. Mark your calendars. We've got the eclipses. The one that concerns me is the sun in Taurus, the moon in Scorpio. What is it, like 6 weeks away or something? Anyway, it's heading very close. And that's going to be in a super hard square with, I don't know how hard the square is, but it's going to be squared off with Pluto in Aquarius. So if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what would. In terms of astrology, this makes me just go, oh my God, holy, hold on, okay? The global financial system is what we're talking about here. Not just your day job, not just your 401k savings and retirement. I'm talking the whole global financial system. And the folks at the very, 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 very top know that the implosion is happening. And they know that their glorious reign of treachery, lies, betrayal, deception, fraud, theft is coming to a close, and a new financial global paradigm is going to unfold. Okay? It's happening right now. It's in the United States, it's going to be incremental. It's being planned already. The Fed now is coming out, and that's going to be basically a digital, super advanced, super fast financial transaction tool that goes through the Federal Reserve banking system. Okay, your little debit card doesn't have to go through blah 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 local bank. Everything goes through the Fed, and that's basically the doorway, the foot in the door that keeps the door open so that CBDCs can be introduced. CBDCs, as you know, it's basically the end of the world as we know it. Central bank digital currency. It's basically financial tyranny, financial imprisonment. If you don't know what it is, you need to do your own research and prepare. It's going to be very difficult to impose the CBDCs here in America. Probably harder than anywhere else in the world, because the Americans are the ones most likely to figure out how evil it is and that there's a chance to stop it and defend against it. We're the only country in the world that has certain rights in our Constitution. Number one, freedom of speech. Number two, the right to defend ourselves and protect ourselves when the freedom of speech is threatened. Okay? So that's all coming up. But in the meantime, you got to prepare yourself, because for the new thing to happen, the old thing has to implode. And that's exactly what's happening right now. A lot of people won't notice it because it'll be happening in slow motion, and over the next 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years or so, the people who are unaware will be oblivious to what happened, and they'll just be going along like a bunch of zombies, like sheep to the slaughter. Okay? But it's coming. And what was it? It's called... what's the name of the file? OC1640. It was just sent over to me by Path Traveler, and it was actually written in 2018, 2019. But it describes the plan, the layout of how do we take America from fractional reserve banking to zero reserve banking to the Fed now and onto the CBDC. It's an incremental process, and that is their goal, because that's their theory and plan about how they can maintain global world order for the elites and the elites of the elites. Well, I'm not into it myself. So people like you, hopefully you're aware if you're watching this, you need to figure out a plan. Okay? How are you going to protect your money, protect your privacy, protect yourself? Otherwise, we're going to end up like a worse situation of China. Remember, China is the model for the World Economic Forum, for FedNow, for the CBDCs. Klaus Schwab said so himself. It's all on paper. You can see it. It's all open to the public on the WEF, like the forum thingy. They're telling you everything that's bad that's going to happen. Climate, power, electricity, food, all that horrible stuff that's happening. They're just giving you little notes to let you aware. So they can't be accused of we're withholding information. All they can do is say, well, we told you so. But they're the actual instigators. They are the instigators of the implosion. So anyway, mark your calendars. Like in a nutshell, just think of the money. Follow the money. All the political stuff, the warfare, the Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, America and the Middle East, Syria, Iran, all of that stuff. The big buildup of Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark with all their jets into Eastern Europe. The big buildup of American military in the Pacific with Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Australia, Philippines, and all of that. That's all to be expected in the circumstances. But my big concern, of course, is the money. I hope this helps you. Have a blessed day.